We need to review our data and make sure we're comfortable with the information that we've been provided, and make sure we understand which each of the columns and data represent. So the only difference between table 24 and 25 is that table 24 includes child nutrition expenditures and table 25 excludes child nutrition expenditures. Everything else will be the same. We'll see the same exact columns in each. And we'll start with table 24 to really represent what's in both tables. Column A is the year of the data, and this is all for 2015, so that's the only thing we'll see in column A. There are no differences that are provided, and this is not multi-year data. The next columns we see are related. These are columns B and C. These are our LEA, the local education agency. So column B represents a number associated with each LEA, and column C is the name of that LEA. And these are all just given in alphabetical order. So we start with Alamance Burlington Schools as LEA number 10. And we'll also notice there in our state, in North Carolina, we have some city school systems. And the way these are designated in this file is that they are placed underneath the county in which they reside. So for example, Asheville has its own city school system, and that's number 111. Asheville is within Buncombe County, and Buncombe County is 110. So to associate those two together, the numbering was used to designate Asheville City Schools as 111. We'll also see that there are 115 school systems in the state. So if we drag down, we can see at the bottom right here in Excel, we see the count is 115, and at the very bottom there's also a state total. So we need to be careful in our future analysis. If we don't want to include the state total, we might need to remove this last row. And so again, A is the year, column B and C are related, and these are the local education agencies. The base of the data that we're looking for are per pupil expenditures, and these are contained within columns D through K. And they're really organized in two sets of columns. So D and E are related, F and G, H and I, and columns J and K are each related. So we'll start with D and E. These are the state per pupil expenditures. So these are the monies or the funds coming from the state government, and these are on a per pupil basis. So for instance, Alamance Burlington Schools has a state per pupil expenditures. So this is on average how much money is spent per pupil of $5,397.36. The related information in column E is the rank. So this amount of expenditures at Alamance Burlington Schools ranks that school system 103rd in the state in terms of the amount spent per pupil. Our next two columns are the federal per pupil expenditures. So these are funds that are received from the federal government on a per pupil basis, and the associated column G, provides us with the rank in terms of all the school systems in the state and how do they rank in terms of the federal funds they receive on a per pupil basis. Columns H and I are the local per pupil expenditures. And again, the first column is the amount per pupil that's expended by the local school system, and I is the rank of those expenditures in the statewide system. And then our final two columns are the total of the state, federal, and local per pupil expenditures, and column K is the associated ranking within all school systems in the state. And again, table 24 and 25 have the exact same layout, contain very similar information. The only differences that you'll see is that child nutrition is excluded in table 25 and included in table 24.